What's up? Fuel Up 727 back at you guys with another video. It's a truck video, so let's get to it. So the main issue I'm having today, no, I have not made a video with my wheel spacers, but that's still gonna come. Been busy with Christmas and plans for New Year's, so that's gonna have to be put on hold for a bit. This video though is about the cutouts. So I ran into a problem where I guess it's just seized shut from, you know, hot and cold, and maybe got stuck somehow. So I'm going to figure out, I'm going to take it off, figure out what's wrong with it, and then if I can fix it, put it back on and be good as new. If not, well, I'm just gonna have to fix it. So the first thing that happened was that the inline fuse, which, let me show you guys here. My inline fuse is put into the plug-in for the cutouts, which is through a cigarette lighter. So my inline fuse broke, so I replaced that, put it back in. Now I can have the cutouts on and off. So it's passenger side exhaust tube works, driver side exhaust tube does not open. So I'm going to go ahead, take them off. I'm not going to show you guys, unfortunately, but if you do want to know how to install them or take them back off, check out my YouTube video of installing the cutouts on it. It'll have an Amazon box for the little clip art for it. So I'll be right back. We'll have it off and we'll be testing it. Alright guys, so I have the cutout off, leaning up against the downpipe. So this was the plug that was originally for that cutout. That's no longer on there. So what I did is I unplugged this second cutout, unplugged it because that's the one that was working. So I'm testing to see if it's still getting power or if it's just the cutout itself, which I have tested, and I'll show you guys how I have tested it. So now that it's got the good cutout wire hooked up to it, and everything's working right. Alright, this is a switch. This is off, and this side over here is on, and I also have it written right there, so I know for sure, because it's also written on the other side. So I'm going to push it to on. Alright, we pushed it up for on, so now let's come back around, and it does not work. Then we know it's the motor, which, sure enough, that's what it is. So now that we know that it's the motor on the cutout, I'm going to just go ahead, take the key out of the truck, start going into that cutout to see exactly what's wrong with it. So I will be back to show you what's going on. This was the cutout that didn't work, so took it off. That was the input shaft that goes right there. So it looked like that. So I got this off. It would move, like I could wiggle it loose, so it wasn't stuck. But then I started questioning myself after I got it off, because after I got it off, I took this protection boot right here, which on the other one goes over that motor. So after I got that off, I noticed that this looked corroded, which it's not supposed to, and I soldered on the wires again because they came off. So they were actually inside the cover off. Or one was on, the other one was off. So it was like the positive side wasn't connected, only the negative side was. So I soldered them back on, and I'm still learning with soldering, so don't judge my ugly solders. But I soldered it back on. It was a good connection. I mean, to the best of my ability. The wires were connected, and they stayed in place. I gave them a couple tugs. They stayed in place. After I cleaned off those terminals on the motor, took it back out to the truck, and nothing. And then I switched to the wire that went to that motor over there, and still nothing. So I think the motor's just fried. So yeah, there's not really too much else to say. So with that being said, as you guys could tell, I had both of those cutout motors off. And what I most likely will do, just get new cutouts. Now, I got these off eBay, and I put them on, like, I want to say last January or February. So they only lasted me almost a year. I highly recommend you guys find a good brand that are cheaper on eBay, or just go to companies that are selling them that have their own websites for the cutouts. Learn from me, and let's see. So I noticed on my subscribers had 300 some. Now I'm down to 100 something. So if we can get to 150 by New Year's, I personally will give you guys, I guess, a $50 gift card to whatever your choice is. So to do that, I'll have, whenever I post on Instagram next week for New Year's, because I will have a new video out, I will post either New Year's Eve. Yeah, I'll do New Year's Eve. So the 31st, I think there's 31 days. The 31st of December, I will post on Instagram about this whole thing. So when we get to 150, if we get a 150 by December 31st, I will post on Instagram. And I'll put all this in the description, because I know I'm kind of confusing it. But I'll put on Instagram, first one to comment or first one to PM me on Instagram, I will give you that $50 gift card. It'll be probably a Visa gift card. And then we'll go on through with the messaging about details on that, on how to get it to you. So remember to like, remember to subscribe. Remember, 150 subscribers, and the person who comments on Instagram when I post next on the 31st, December 31st, will get that gift card. You guys have a good one. Like and subscribe. Fuel up out.